Hey everybody, and welcome to Getting to Know Your Friends. I'm your host, Zach Rowland, as always, and with you today is my friend Amy Berger, right?
Yeah!
I should have asked you beforehand, right? Because I was making sure,
name, right?
This is your name, because I want to make sure.
Yes.
But it's a good I love your last name. It's great.
I never got made fun of for it, so.
Whatever. It's not true.
I'm glad you like it.
I like it a lot. But Amy is a new friend of mine, and I'm going to get to know her a little bit more tonight, as well as the viewers and listeners at home as well. So let's go through it. All right, so we're going to take it to the way back.
Okay.
And we're going to start off with your hometown. Where are you from?
I'm from Naperville, Illinois.
All right.
Which is it was voted #1 place to raise a family in America at one point. So that was, that pretty much was my childhood. Super suburban, super Midwestern.
Sure. Now, in relation to Chicago, where is that at?
It's like 45 minutes southwest of Chicago.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
So not too bad. So we could go into the city if we wanted to, but not like living in the city. So we kind of would just go there for like Bears games or like concerts or like sporting events. This stuff you need to be in the city for.
Definitely.
So it's good, but what was funny is we lived right next to Aurora, Illinois, which you might be familiar with from Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World. So
I got to go to school where like Wayne's World happened, and that was like our big claim to fame. It's like, and now the town that brought you Wayne's World, here's your show choir.
Yeah. Oh, and so then you do like a little bit from Wayne's World as show choir.
Always.
Great. So Naperville, and so you grew up there, and elementary, middle, high school.
Elementary, middle, high school. So I went to Maywatts Elementary, which was just right around the corner. So you could just walk over there.
Awesome.
And then Hill Middle School, and then Waubonsie and Aurora.
Cool. And what did you do throughout that time? Like, how early on did you think about, like, what you wanted to be when you grew up, or what were you doing?
I always think I wanted to be an actor. I think that was always in the back of my mind, and that started, I think the first time I ever was like, this is what I want to do, was my parents took my brother and I to go see a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with Donny Osmond starring.
Are you serious? You got to see...
Oh, Donny. In all of his Joseph glory.
God, that would be so great. Like, I know he's kind of a funky guy, but you know what? Like, he kills it.
He kills it. He kills it live. And in the very beginning of that production, when, like, it's all starting, there's this moment where like 1 million kids like rush on stage to sing this opening number, and I thought those were just like kids from the audience, so I like got up to run with them, and my mom was like, no, like sit down, like you can't go up there, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's awesome. So from that moment forward, right?
From that moment forward, and then I did I like tried to do a lot of things. So I was like, now I want to be a gymnast, now I want to be a ballerina, but my teachers or coaches or whatever they were would always be like, I don't think Amy's right for ballet. She likes to talk too much. She's like not disciplined enough. Like put her in tap. I was like, okay.
Tap's like sporadic.
More fidgety.
Like,
I didn't have like the non-fidgety like ballet personality.
Yeah.
So I would try to do all these things, and I was like a cheerleader for like 4 years, and I would do all these things, but once I got to high school was really when it was like, okay, I'm gonna act in all the plays. I'm gonna do like all the choirs and those kinds of things.
Awesome. So so what did you get into? Like, what was your first production?
My first production, well, I was an extra in the Untouchables television show.
Get out.
So I played a Cuban orphan.
Wait, Cuban?
Because I'm so ethnic.
Wait, you're not even like... What? Cuban orphan?
I don't know. I can't explain it, but that's how I was cast.
Wow.
So I had to sit, and I had to just like be in a room and put like a diaper on a doll while being very sad because I had no parents.
Wow.
And there were nurses around me.
So sad.
It's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
So I was 3 and I did that. And then so I would do like little extra work as a kid for some reason. And so they did Miracle on 34th Street in Chicago as well. So my brother and I did that, but they shot it in like August, which in Chicago is miserable.
Yeah, what?
And so they put me in this like really heavy like baby mink coat, and I just started like crying, and I didn't want to be there because it was so hot, and I was like passing out. So I think I got kicked out of that movie.
Really?
I was a diva from the beginning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like watch out for this one, guys.
Don't gas me.
Wrong costume on her. She's gonna ball. Okay.
Very emotional.
Oh wow. So cool. So you really got into it. I mean, real early. Like that's really great.
But not to the point, like, once I actually was old enough to kind of realize what I was doing, my parents didn't want it to be like, okay, you're now, like, going into the business. Sure. They were very firm about how, like, a normal childhood, like, go through school, and then once you, like, are 18, do it professionally. But until then, just, like, have a normal upbringing and do it for fun.
Definitely.
So I think that's what I needed.
Yeah.
It was nice, yeah.
Yeah, that, not tap. You didn't need tap. I needed just regimented
needed
schoolwork.
to fidget and make noise.
Yeah, right. That's all young kids do.
All they need to do.
Oh.
And then I would do a lot. Like, I got really involved with, like, volunteering when I was, like, 13 with, like, the troops.
Yeah.
So I started this service project called Hearts for Heroes, where I got people to write Valentine's Day cards for the troops, and we would send them overseas.
Yeah.
So I ran that for 4 years. So that was, like, a big part of my life in high school.
Awesome. Good. So so what else did you do? Any, like, cheerleading or any other activities?
Yeah. Oh God. I was like the girl that kind of just did everything.
Yeah.
So I think in high school I was like a pom dancer. I was a cheerleader. I was on the speech team. I was in like show choir, mosaic choir, which was like this gospel choir.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know why I was in it, but it was amazing and it was so much fun. We did 5 plays a year.
Great.
Like a musical.
This sounds exactly like my high school.
Yeah.
I did all that same stuff. I was in the choir. I was the president of my choir department when I was senior year. I was in like the musical. Actually, my roommate, who you met earlier, was he was Tevye and I was Laser Wolf.
Amazing.
Our senior years, but we were competing for Tevye, and we talk about this all the time. How when we went out for the roles. He really put himself into it and did a lot of good stuff. And during the audition, I sang, I think really great. But he sang and acted, and like just a little. And I saw it, and I was just like, "Ugh, you went second for a reason." Bronson.
Getting you.
Yeah, right. So, no, I know, but I get that. Like, I did so much. I was all over the place, and it's fun. I think it makes you such a well-rounded person.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Because you kind of just get to be part of every little clique, I guess. I guess I never really thought about cliques in high school. That wasn't something that had occurred to me until I saw Mean Girls, and I was like, oh, people are so divided.
Yeah.
But I think because I kind of was involved in little bits of everything,
I
never thought about high school in that, like, really crazy way.
Definitely.
So I was always kind of doing something.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny. They did Fiddler right before I got there, and I feel like I missed out because I never got to be part of a Fiddler production.
Oh my gosh.
And as an actor, I feel like you're supposed to have done that.
So much fun. Yeah. What did you do for like your main plays and musicals?
The main play that it's like I think still my favorite role I've ever done, even at this point, is The Crucible. I got to play Abigail Williams.
Yeah. You're an Abigail.
Oh yeah.
You're totally an Abigail.
Scream manipulation and like sexual tension.
Goody Proctor and all the goodies and everybody. And
it was just so fun because you just gotta like be crazy.
Yeah.
That was fun. My senior year, the very last show I did was West Side Story.
Love it.
It was like the last musical.
Really good. And
I just played. I didn't even have like a singing part. I was playing anybody's, the little like tomboy. And during the final dress rehearsal, I broke my leg. Because it was the very opening number, and there was like a fight scene, and 2 guys weren't standing where they were supposed to. So when he got thrown right into me, and my leg just like broke on impact.
Oh my god!
But I was so concerned of like not messing up the time of the show, so I like finished the scene, and then I like got off stage and was like, I think something went wrong.
Oh my god!
So but because I had been involved in the theater for so long at that point, they didn't want me to not get to do it, and I really didn't want to miss out on my last show.
Sure.
So they organized it that I was like friends with one of the Jets. He was like my buddy. So I would ride on his back, and he would like bring me on stage, drop me off. I would do all of my lines, like just standing in my position, and then I would get back on his back and run off stage. Yeah,
that's how you do it in theater.
That's how you do it.
Show must go on, but we make it work. Oh, that's awesome. That's really funny too, because the way that you're saying about Fiddler, they did it right before you got to high school.
Yeah.
They did West Side Story before I got to high school. And Joseph, too.
No way.
Yeah. And so I also felt like I was a little bit cheated because I didn't get to be in those shows. But we did some other really great productions. Every year we did so many good productions.
What was your favorite?
Actually, Tommy was my favorite.
Cool.
Yeah, because my parents are kind of like that age of like the really great classical rock and just all that good stuff, and I had watched Tommy when I was younger, the video, which I didn't fully get when I was younger, and all the stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
But even the musical version of it, like the rock music, everything was great. And then I had the opportunity to see Robert Daltrey do it live a few years ago with my parents.
How cool.
Oh my God, he sounds just as good.
Yeah.
He's so incredible.
God,
Pete Townsend wasn't there, but his brother was there playing guitar, which was kind of like a replacement kind of thing. It was really great. It was spectacular. So yeah, but like it's just those moments.
Sounds great. That sounds so cool.
Tommy definitely was really, really fun, and Fiddler was great too. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I went to like a summer camp for 3 years. It was like a really big performing arts summer camp called Stage Door Manor. And like their big sell is like a lot of celebrities went there when they were kids. So it was like Natalie Portman and Zach Braff and like all these cool people. So you go there being like, that's gonna be me. Like I'm gonna be them. But I remember they did Tommy one year, and it was like everybody was talking about this production.
Awesome.
It's like such a cool show.
Yeah. Especially when there's just like all the stuff that happens like. In Fiddler, there's a lot of set pieces that change, and it's in that Russian era, that pre-World War I Russian era, right around there, But like with Tommy, I don't know, like with the breaking of the mirrors and all the lights and the Acid Queen and just like the pinball, like we turned our entire theater, the stage, everything into a giant pinball machine.
That's so cool.
And I got to work on that. I got to help build that. I was blown away. I was like,
amazing.
That's when I first decided that I wanted to go into more of like a set building like career, because I was like, man, I just love putting stuff together and figuring it out. Until I got the note from a teacher that was like, she's like, "You going to college to be a set builder?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "No, go do acting." I was like, "Okay, sure."
That's all it takes.
Thanks.
There is something so special about crew though too, because I think a lot of times as an actor, you miss out on that process of like seeing all like the technical elements happening because you're in rehearsal and you're doing your your craft and whatnot. But then you kind of always just show up, and it's like this magical experience where you go and you're like, oh my God, the whole world has been created, and now I'm just putting myself in it too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of fun doing the crew side when you're like, we see it like through its phases.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think you have a deeper appreciation for everything in general, just like theater wise. Like you get to see, like you get to see how all of the magic happens when you're an actor. Like you're putting yourself into that role, but I don't know. There's something about being on sound crew or being on lighting crew or being on construction crew or whatever crew you're doing, box office. It's just a different facet of the theater that has to be there to function. And that's why it's such a great like family thing. It's a community thing. You build those friendships with those people because you're working hard for the same goal.
And that's like, I think it's such a shame that actors really get all the credit a lot of time because that's just what people see, so it's easiest to remember.
Right.
But it really is such a collaboration and such an ensemble thing most of the time that it's so special.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on, let's talk about college then, because you went to school, right? College to go acting, right?
I did. I came to New York and I went to.
What year was this?
This was in 2009.
2009.
So I was the class of 2013 at NYU Tisch.
Great.
So I did that, and that was really exciting. So I did not think I was going to get in. So I was like making because you hear about NYU and you're like, oh my God, like nobody will.
It's huge, I'm like, who gets into that school?
But then it somehow worked out, and I got accepted, and what
was that experience like? Tell us about it. Like
it was so when you get accepted into Tisch, there are different studios, and you get placed in a different like professional acting studio. So I got placed at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, which was like incredible.
Yeah, are you a Strasberg guy?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Strasberg. It's everything. Like I think it's just the foundation for like all actors need it or need to take a class in it if nothing else. So I trained there for 3 of those years, and it was just like all the cheesy things that people think about method acting, we do. So it's all the like, the coffee cup exercise and like sitting in the chair and relaxing. But I don't know. I love it. I love it so much.
But it's important to learn those basic skills. I mean, they're not even that basic because, I mean, mannerisms are huge in acting. The body sells it. Dialogue is dialogue, and the playwright has intent. But an actor can put so much subtext into something and give it life and bring it to the forefront of what it really can be because they learn how to do that by training, So, I think that, I don't know, like, sure, there's raw talent out out there.
Absolutely.
But I think everybody has to go through the regimens, you know? Like,
absolutely.
If it's something that's as incredible as what you were able to go through, or like in my instance, I just was able to take a couple of acting classes and a couple of directing classes at State University in Kansas. And it was still a great experience, you know? Like, I didn't get extensive training like I wanted, but I was also in a weird place. Like, I left the theater because of something, not on bad terms, just I had to leave the school. And when I came back, they were like, you can't come back to the theater program. And then I found out later I could get back into the theater program, and I'm like, what? And then I went to the writing program instead, but I feel like more of an actor than a writer, so that's kind of my thing. Like, I love writing, but I know there's people out there that are so much more gifted than I am. And so, like, it's just...
But, I mean, it's all just about perspective when it comes to writing, too. I think just as long as you have something to say and you want to say it, like, that's all that matters. Because then you just need to put it down on paper. And I think so many people just think, like, oh, I'm not a writer. And so they don't try. But as soon as you start doing it, like, you figure out your style and what you want to say and how you want to say it. So it's just a matter of doing it, I guess.
That's a really great philosophy. I like that.
I think because for a long time I was like, oh, I'm not a writer. Because my brother is like a brilliant writer. And so I was always like, he's the writer and I'm like the actor. But the second I was like, but like, let me try it. Let's see what happens. And I mean, now I just enjoy it and I find it fun. But I mean, I'm not, you know.
Yeah, but it's not like your focus, or your specific focus.
Exactly.
Like definitely performance.
Yeah, definitely performance.
So what happened at NYU? Anything super fun or crazy? Or tell us a story.
Oh gosh, okay. Yeah. I should probably have more stories from college. It's like such a big part of my life.
Don't worry, I ask everyone this question and they're like,
what happened in college?
I don't remember. Don't worry, none of us remember what happened in college.
I'm trying to think of like something really fun or like kooky or something, but I know with Strasberg it was a funny time because Strasberg and NYU were like parting ways at that time, so we were kind of supposed to be the last Strasberg class. So there was like this thing that came with their class of like, we're going to be the last generation of method actors, even though it's still like a functioning institute, but we're the last class. So I think because of that, it was nice because we all got to kind of bond so much in that way, and like it was something that really brought us all together. That's not really a very good story. A very good college story.
What about like during a production, did something go wrong, or did you guys go out partying one night and somebody got arrested? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
I know. I feel like probably all of those things happened. I know.
What's that?
Well, that's the thing is I think that being at NYU or like being in New York, you miss out on a couple normal college things because like we didn't have the football team because there's nowhere to have a field. And we didn't have Greek life really. Like, I guess it was there, but it wasn't a big thing. So you don't have those, like, party houses. You're like, okay, let's go to this person's, like, studio apartment that they, like, share with two other people and, like, make something work. So there was oh, gosh. I played a monkey in a play, and I played a mayfly in the same production. So, you know, I really went through the animals and insects.
Which takes a lot of method
and preparation.
Get inside the mind of the mayfly.
What does the mayfly want?
Fine. What do you want as a mayfly?
The toughest role I've had to date.
As a monkey. Which is funny, though, because there were people playing monkeys in the new Planet of the Apes. I mean, like, any of the Planet of the Apes films, you know? Like, like you have to kind of put yourself into that position, or apes, I should say. You know,
right. Thank you for.
There's a difference between. That's funny too. In college, I learned that there is a difference between apes and monkeys. Like there's apes don't have tails and monkeys do. That's pretty much it. Apes are a lot larger. Orangutans, chimpanzees, gorillas. Monkeys are like lemurs or tamarins or I almost said mandarins. Mandarin monkeys.
Mandarin monkeys.
But it was I took I can't remember what class it was, but I learned that was like the one thing that I learned in that class, anthropology, cultural anthropology. That was like that's seriously, I walked away not getting anything from that class except for the difference between apes and monkeys.
And if that's all you needed?
That's all you need. Yeah, right? There's $300 and something a credit hour well played. Thanks a lot, KU.
Worth every penny.
Yeah, definitely. I know.
I think more of my like favorite college memories have been like the stuff I would do in the summers, I guess, of college. So like the first year in between freshman and sophomore year, I studied abroad in Ireland, which was very exciting,
What?
which was cool.
Oh, that's great. Tell me about Ireland.
I do have a weird Ireland story. So,
I'm in.
Okay, let me tell you.
All right.
So we were studying at Trinity, so we were in the heart of Dublin, and that was like beautiful and amazing. And then on weekends, they would take us on trips to see other parts of Ireland. So we were like, this is great. And we would stay in hostels mostly when we were going on these weekend trips just for money. And one weekend, they're like, we're going to see Western Ireland, and it's just going to be this beautiful experience. And we're like, oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And they say, we're going to take this boat out to this island that's like a super remote island. It's just so beautiful and clean, and you're going to love it. We're like, great. So it's called the Inishbofin, which means Island of the Cows in Gaelic, I suppose.
I think it's Gaelic,
Yeah. So we get on this boat that's so tiny and is like, it looks dangerous. So we get on it, we start going through it, and we're going on these big waves, and you're standing outside the boat, and you're just getting like soaked by all of these waves. Like there's nowhere to go.
Oh.
And it's like freezing, and you're like holding on for dear life that you're not going to like fall off this boat. So we finally get to the island, and it is beautiful. Like it is gorgeous and clean and just amazing. And we get there, and there's one car, and it's like, put your luggage in the car. So we do. And then they're like, okay, now you have to walk to the hostel.
So your luggage gets a ride?
So your luggage gets a ride, and then you have to like find your way to this hostel. So we start walking, and we're like, okay, whatever. It's like beautiful. It's a nice walk.
Sure.
Like, it's fine. So there's the hostel, and then there's one hostel, there's one hotel, and there's like one restaurant on this island. So the chaperones, or like whoever's leading this trip, get to stay in the hotel, and the students are all in the hostel. And the way the restaurant works is you have to call and let them know you're coming at least 24 hours in advance, because they need to go get food from the mainland.
Wow.
So they know how much to bring back. Our chaperones didn't tell them we were coming, so they didn't have food for us. So we didn't eat the 24 hours we were there.
That's fucking terrible. It's like great, but terrible.
I was like, is this a funny story? We're like, no, this is terrible, because we're cold. Our clothes are soaking wet from this boat.
Wow.
We're in a
luggage
hostel. Our luggage is God knows where. We can't eat. I remember going to the restaurant, like, as it was closing, and being like, can we just get, like, a packet of hot chocolate? Like, can we have anything? And they're just like, we weren't aware of you.
Jeez.
And we're like, oh.
So no shepherd's pie.
No shepherd's pie.
That's terrible.
It's a tragic experience.
Yeah, right. But Ireland was pretty cool.
I mean, the people are so friendly, and everything is so cool and new and hip, and the food is so good, because it's like meat and potatoes and like beer and cider.
Totally.
So that part was
Irish
hot
whiskey. I had a roommate from Ireland. He actually came from Glasgow for an exchange program, but he was from Ireland, and just the nicest guy. I wish I would have partied with him more, because honestly, during that time period, he was just a party animal. Yeah. Everybody loved him. Like, accent was totally awesome. Great. And he was a really, really nice guy. So I always hope to meet more people from Ireland, and even from like England and Britain and all this, like anywhere that's like that. And I want to travel over there and experience that at some point in my life, because I feel like it's just, I don't know, it calls to me, especially being a theater person, knowing, theater history and what Europe has done for theater and all that stuff. Like, I would love to do that.
And that's the thing, is I feel like a lot of my friends that studied abroad were there for like a full semester wherever they were, and so they would really like travel to like all parts of Europe or whatever. But I was only in Ireland for 6 weeks, and now I was like, oh, maybe I should have done more traveling to other places. But I was kind of like, I don't know, I just liked being in Ireland for 6 weeks and just living there. Feeling like you lived there, because you're there for 6 weeks, and you're going to the grocery store and you're doing all that, so you feel like you live there.
Nice.
So that was the first summer, and then the second summer I got to go to Greece, which was like really
holy shit! Wait, you started off with Ireland, now you're going to Greece? Good lord, you're like a world traveler. This is awesome.
Like,
I'm envious.
I think I just started like picking things I wanted to do around like where they were. So I'm like, okay, I want to act and I want to be in Greece. How do I make this happen?
That's where it all started, pretty much. It's
it's so cool there.
Yeah.
So I go there with this theater company called One Year Lease Theater Company, which is like, they're incredible. The work they do is amazing. And we spent like the first 2 days in Athens. We had to like see all of that, and then you basically go 8 hours north to this tiny little town called Popingo, and where I'm pretty sure at this time when we went, the year-long, like the yearly population there is typically 7 people.
Oh, wow.
But during the summer, it's busier because it's on like a national park, so people come and they hike and they do all this crazy things. But because it's on a national park, once that happened, everything has to be built, you know, the way it was. So everything is still made out of like stone, and it's just like gorgeous, and you're hiking, but we were also there performing. So we got to do this production of Midsummer Night's Dream that we got to like tour around these little teeny tiny towns where like nobody spoke English. So it was cool because we did a very condensed version and just tried to, you know, get our art across.
Sure. But you had audiences? People came out to see it?
We had audiences. They were all like in town squares, which was also so fun because it made it very site-specific-y, and you could use the crowd, and you could like go up to tables or use walls or like do whatever you needed to do to kind of make it more active and participatory. And so that was, I mean, oh gosh, Greece was just like life-changing.
That's great.
Greece.
Food?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So good. And so healthy. Because this town was so small, the butcher, like the town butcher, could tell if the meat from the cow was from one side of the mountain or the other.
Really?
It was like that fresh.
That's impressive.
So everything we were eating was whatever they like caught from the ocean that day or like picked from the garden. So it was also healthy. And I remember being like, man, once I get back to America, like no more crap. And then I get to the airport and I'm like, oh man, Panda Express sounds great.
There's some General Tso's chicken.
McDonald's. Some chicken nuggets.
God, I love being an American.
I love being an American.
Right? You want to be everybody. You want to be every other, I feel like, in their countries, like, environments and do what they do, because it seems like it's so much fun. And then you get back to America and you're just like, whew.
How quickly bad habits come back.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
Great.
That was fun.
So that was the second summer abroad?
Second summer abroad.
Okay. And there's a third one?
Not so. No? I mean, I went and I was an apprentice at Williamstown Theater Festival, so not so much abroad, but in Massachusetts. Yeah. And that was great because that was 10 weeks, and it was really the most like art-filled summer of my life because for like 10 weeks straight, you were just fully immersed in this theater festival, and you're working on crews and you're acting in shows, and like the last 3 weeks I was there, I think I slept 4 hours a night.
Oh wow.
Just a mix of like working and just like the social aspect of it, but you don't care. You like, this just becomes kind of your world and you get used to it.
Yeah.
And then once you get back, you're like, what have I done? Like, I haven't slept at all. But it was just so special because you got to be part of a lot of new work, and you got to see people making things every night and creating their own work, and that's great. It was a really great summer.
Lightning round.
Oh god.
Here it comes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, so I'm going to ask you serious questions. You just give me the first response. You ready?
Oh god, okay.
Alright, favorite Disney character?
Jasmine.
Jasmine,
yeah.
Nice. Do you prefer paper or plastic?
Paper.
Awesome. The one geographic location you never wish to travel to?
Iraq.
Middle East, no way.
Not a good time.
Great. Your favorite concert you ever been to?
Britney Spears.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Which tour was it?
Her very first tour.
Nice.
When she only had one album out.
The Baby One More Time.
Baby One More Time.
Woof.
Baby One More Time all the time.
Sidebar. My friends and I, we were so into Britney Spears when we were in high school. We went and bought that album on CD on our way out to plan a capture the flag game on a farm. Done. All right. All right. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Yes. Let's see. If you could play any classic actress, who would you take on that persona of?
Lucille Ball.
Oh,
yeah. I love Lucy all the way.
I was just talking about her last night.
Oh, she's the best.
Oh, so good. Love her. Awesome. Favorite type of beer?
Guinness? Is that like a type?
Yeah, Guinness,
like a brand?
Oh, yeah. It's just fine. Stout. Yeah, totally.
Stout.
I meant style, brand, whatever you want to call it.
Let's go Guinness.
Guinness is good. Guinness is hearty. It's like drinking a loaf of bread.
I know.
Let's see. Ocean or lake?
Lake.
Yeah,
Midwesterner.
totally. Michigan, totally. Yeah, definitely. And it's almost like an ocean anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. If you could travel back to a time period, what time period would it be?
20s.
The 20s? 1920s?
Yeah.
Good times.
1920s.
Flappers and all those.
Depression.
Yeah. We're right into the. I'm gonna get the tip of the good
I like
stuff.
the romantic part of it, of like the flappers and like the hairstyles.
Yeah, right. We're gonna be flashy, and then we're gonna just be
then we're
despair.
gonna be a little sad.
Your favorite current TV show?
Veep.
Veep.
Love
Nice.
Veep.
I
Love
haven't checked it out.
Dreyfus. Oh my god.
Yeah,
watch
really good.
It. Everybody is so good on that show. It's so smart.
Nice.
So
That's what I hear. I hear it's really,
so
really good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stuff.
Let's see. What is the one thing you wish you could always find inside of a dumpster?
A banana peel.
Banana. I think you could probably find that. I don't know. I mean, like
I like to go for things. I like to be practical about what I hope for.
Well, that's because then you can take the banana peel, throw it out on the sidewalk, and watch all the craziness ensue.
That's why.
Yeah. Let's see. Your favorite scent?
Vanilla. Vanilla bean. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Let's see. If you were on a cruise ship, what island would you land on or visit to?
One of the Greek islands.
Yeah. Mediterranean cruise.
Yeah, Mediterranean cruise, definitely. Because I didn't get to see any of the islands when I was there, so I'd like to go.
I would love to go to Crete.
Oh,
that would be great.
That would be cool.
That's actually, I don't know if you know the band Group Love.
No.
But they're a really great band, and that's where they met. They all met at a retreat, like an artist retreat on Crete. That's really weird. An artist retreat on Crete. Yeah. Let's see. Vinyl or digital?
Digital? I want to say vinyl.
I know.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have any real experience.
I don't either. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I would love to be a vinyl person. I just don't.
I love the idea of being a vinyl person.
Yeah, totally. And I love that there are vinyl people out there keeping it alive.
I know. We need them.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you.
Let's see. Last question.
Okay.
If you were in a video game, what video game would it be?
Batman. As Batman.
Not as Batman. Boom, baby. We always end up Batman.
Always.
Awesome.
Always a good way to end.
Yeah, excellent. Great. That was it. That's lightning round. So
okay.
Awesome. So we're going to get back into your history.
Banana peels.
And banana peels. We're going to get back into some banana peels, guys. We'll be
the
right
hard-hitting
back.
stuff.
Yeah, right. Banana peels. Ooh, check it out. Throw it on the ground. People die. That's not nice.
Totally not.
Yeah,
they just get the potassium.
Yeah.
Or what's left over.
That's, the leftover potassium. So you're in New York. Mm-hmm. You've graduated college.
I have.
And what'd you go next? What's next? What'd you do?
Next was when UCB came into my life.
UCB.
So I think what happened was as soon as I graduated, I was like, okay, well, if nothing else happens for me my first year out of college, I'll go through the UCB track. Like, I'm going to do all 4 levels.
Great. How did you find the Upright Citizens Brigade?
I found out about it from a girl that went to Strasbourg with me who was, like, super gung-ho about it from the beginning. And she just, like, from freshman year started doing it and talks about it all the time. And I had heard things because I was a big, like, Saturday Night Live fan growing up. And I loved sitcoms and comedy and all of that. So I had heard things, but I really didn't know what it was, embarrassingly enough.
No, that's fine. Actually, I had a later start with, I knew the show.
Yeah.
But then, I didn't know that they had theaters.
Yeah.
Until probably about 4 or 5 years ago. But once I found it, I was like,
and then you're
I gotta do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And
definitely.
In Chicago, I really wasn't part of, the Second City scene or the IO or the Annoyance or anything because I wasn't living in the city, so it wasn't a big part of my life, and I left right when I turned 18. So I came out, and I heard about it, and I said, okay, when I was in college, I didn't want to do it because I really wanted to just focus on, my acting training and whatnot. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And then right from the first level, I was like, okay, now this isn't just a year goal. It's I love this. I want to make this.
What was your 101?
My 101 was John Murray.
John Murray, yeah.
Amazing.
He's a good guy.
He was getting super busy, though, and he was getting a lot of work being the cool, professional, talented guy he is. So it was kind of John Murray, kind of Terry Withers.
Oh, cool.
So it was a nice combination of people for your first class into it.
Yeah.
So I did those two, and then I literally just went right through it. I didn't take any breaks.
Nice.
So I did
Yeah, so let's see.
101,
101, 201.
201 with Nicole Driscoll.
Nice.
Who's fabulous.
Yeah.
301 with Laura Gray, who's the nicest woman in the world.
Great.
And then 401 with Eric Tenoy.
Great.
And then I started taking sketch class in the middle because it became so hard to get into classes by that point because everybody's just like jumping on it. So I couldn't get into a 401, so I started taking sketch to be like still involved.
How are the differences there? What do you compare them a little bit?
I mean, they're both. I think it was good that I had started doing improv, so I could kind of I was understanding game more and kind of what that meant within UCB and that structure. And so once I started doing sketch, the terminology just made more sense to me. But once I was more involved with that, I found it helped my improv because I was aware of just like beats and like structure and like hitting things. And so they kind of just like help each other. I think once you get one, you can start doing the other.
Definitely. Yeah, I know a lot of people take them simultaneously. Yeah. So like it just like I think it strengthens that mentality.
Yeah, when you're looking at it. So it just like it helps you think a little quicker.
Definitely. So now, so you 401, have you done any advanced studies?
No advanced study yet. I still need to do the advanced study application process.
Sure.
But I've been doing like electives. So I did like a Don Finelli elective class, which is like incredible.
Yeah.
I had 2 classes outside with Christian Capizzoli and his 4-track class. And just different practice groups where you kind of get a little taste of other coaches. So I try to stay as involved in doing like BYOT and the jams and all of that.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah,
fun stuff. Yeah,
definitely. And then we met through free workshop.
Through the Kevin Hines free workshop.
Kevin Hines free workshop, which was so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah,
it's so cool because then you get to work with like all these other improvisers. I remember going in because Natasha was one of our people. She like had an hour slot. And I remember I was such a big like Namaste fan when I was like first starting because when I was in 101 was right when Namaste was having their like long, like solid cage match streak. And my whole class would just go from class to cage match because they were right after each other. So we would go every single week and just like follow these teams and specifically them. And I remember watching her being like, oh my god, like she's so good.
She's very good.
And then when she taught the class, I was a little fangirly about it. I was thinking, you're really talented.
That's awesome. I had like a different way with Matt Denny, who was teaching us some stuff too. Because then I went and helped out with a production that his digital sketch team did, and so I worked with him and a bunch of other great improvisers all day long, working as crew and picking up just like little things here and there and just doing PA work, and it was just fun. But it was great because I got to work with him on that situation, and then in another situation, different facets. And it was just like, it was so great. Like
I feel like the community is like really great in that way, where when you first get in, at least for me, I was a little nervous because I was just seeing all these people and I'm like, everybody's just so smart and talented and just like on it. But the thing that I guess I found was different from the acting world I was coming from was it wasn't as competitive. Everybody was really so supportive and encouraging and wanting you to be part of this world. And I guess there's something about that where like you're all in it together and you're all yesing each other and you go in as one, like you fail together, you succeed together, but like you do it together. And so I think I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Definitely. That's what I love about it is that it's really supportive. I mean, and that's what I tell everybody, like we're adults playing pretend. So why are we why are we getting upset about stuff? Why are we judging somebody? It's like just have fun.
You learn to just not be so precious about things. You're like, no, things can just happen and you can play with it, and like when the mistakes happen or when you're like, yes, this is great, like this is comedic
Which
gold.
Often turned into the funniest moments. So I know
stuff you're not overthinking.
So awesome.
So now I intern at the Beast on Saturday night. So I'm literally just like making UCB. I'm there like every night now being like,
No, I know. Any night that I'm not doing something else, I'm at a UCB show. And it's not that I don't want to go see other shows at other theaters. I just have a drawing. Like I've been to some Magnet shows. I've been to some Pit shows. I have friends at the Magnet. I have friends at the Pit. I've even performed at the Pit. But I just find myself, going to UCB because that's just where I'm at. This is where I'm studying. This is what I'm doing. I'm sure if I was studying a different theater, I'd probably go see more shows there. Who knows? But you find the bug, you let it bite you, and then you just go. It's like any other addiction that I feel like I'm addicted to UCB. It's
kind of what happens.
I don't blame you. So what else are you doing? You're interning. What else is happening right now?
Interning. I was working I was working backstage of the Broadway show Casa Valentina while that was happening, so that was very exciting. But then that ended, and I had all this free time. So I started writing this web series called Average that we're shooting right now, which was basically about being like an average white brunette trying to be an actor in New York City. So took a lot of research, and I, did lots of interviews with people that are struggling, unlike myself.
Oh, yeah. Like, I know what my experience is like, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Successful. Everything I go in for.
Yeah. What's that process like, though? Tell us a little bit about, like, how that is, like, writing and producing and directing.
It's
all that stuff that you're doing.
I mean, I'm doing it on, like, the most low budget possible. Like, because I know a lot of people do the Kickstarter thing and the Indiegogos, and I see that, I'm like, wow, that's amazing, but I just don't even have that mindset to, like, organize. Like, I don't know how it works.
Sure.
And I don't know what I need.
And asking people for money?
I know.
I feel so weird.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So I always, like, donate to my friends that are doing it, but I feel like I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
So it's been a very low budget thing, just with, like, the love and generosity of other people I know being like, yeah, you can use this space, or you can use our equipment, or whatever. So it's been very fun. It's been very quick. It's just been, I don't know, something I've been enjoying working on. It was fun to write a character for myself that I could play, and instead of, like, relying on just getting a part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it probably feels more natural, I mean, like, that's, you wrote it for yourself. Like, I think that's what's so great about being able to write for yourself. And that's what you were saying earlier about writing, like, you find yourself writing characters that are a part of you, or something that you've experienced. And I think it was when I was working with Sean Conroy in a workshop when I was at a festival, where he's like, the best sketches are the ones that happen from real experiences.
Yeah.
Take your life, look at the situations you've been in, and find the funny behavior that occurred in this situation, whether it was yours or someone else's. Like, that's where the comedy is. That's where the gold is really, really at. You know? And I think that's exactly what you're doing there.
Trying to. I think I'm trying to, like, find the funny and, like, the everyday situation, like the little things that could easily bring me down, and being like, oh, because you go into a lot of auditions and they're like, oh, but, like, what's interesting about you, or, like, you look like everybody else in New York City. So kind of playing with that and not making it so, like, oh my god, I want to dwell on this, but being like, okay, this might be where I am right now, so let's at least embrace it. Try to do that. And it's fun because it's a project full of, like, love and just, it's fun to shoot, and we have fun shooting it, and I'm excited to put it up. Hopefully it'll go up in October is the goal. And I'm just learning a lot, because I'm trying to, like, edit it myself, which is something I had never dabbled in before. So you learn a lot about filmmaking and the other sides of it I was completely unaware of.
Yeah, the technical side of it. And again, having that experience, whether or not you got it early in life or later in life, it's valuable. It's very valuable.
Definitely.
And another thing, too, kind of, which is funny, having Veep be your favorite show, with Matt Walsh being on there. Another thing that I learned from Matt Walsh was, like, if you're not making your own content, you're not doing yourself a service. Like, you can't wait around for somebody to discover you. As much as we know all these producers and all these directors, people are out there, like, you can't rely on that. If you make your own thing and you do it your own way and show people what your, I would say the word brand is, then I feel like that's what sets you apart, know? And I think that we learn from these mentors, their philosophies, the things that they did. I mean, the UCB did that. They left Chicago, they came here, they paved the way. It was a rocky road, and they went at it, and now, all four of them, and even the adjunct members, who are people who've been on SNL and other great shows. It's just like, you guys are great. You've shown us what to do, and now we want to do that and do it even more and have even more fun. So.
I think there's something about UCB that, like, inspires you to really kind of want to just get out there, because everybody there is doing something and working towards something and doing it together, which is really beautiful. So it kind of puts you in that mindset too, with, like, if they can do it, I can do it. And especially now with, like, Broad City and everything, I feel like that's just been really inspirational for a lot of people to be like, a web series can turn into anything, or like just have fun with what you're doing and what you're trying to say, and you never know what can happen. So
that's what's great about improv, the community. I mean, even theater, just in general, performance art. Like, like if you have something to say, like you said, just you don't know until you say it.
Yeah.
Until you do it. So
yeah,
that's really great. Wow, this has been a very philosophically charging episode. Like,
good.
You guys feel inspired yet?
I hope so.
Honestly, come on. Oh my gosh. Well, it's sad to say that it's actually almost time. The time's almost up.
Oh man.
Isn't that crazy? Doesn't it?
So, it really flies. I was like, gosh, 45 minutes. Right. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. The only thing that I do towards the end of the episode is I flip the script. And you are allowed to ask me questions if you have 1, 2, whatever you want. We got some time to fill. Let's do it.
Okay, so how about, do you have a favorite improv team at the UCB? Do you have any favorite house teams?
Yeah. I was a big Death by Ruru fan for a while.
Nice.
I also am a big fan of Astronomy Club, which is a Lloyd team.
Yeah.
Grandma's Ashes is really great. I think those guys are all very. All the teams are so
good.
great. It's hard to pick a team, but because Anthony Antamanik was kind of like my one-on-one guy who I learned basics of UCB philosophy from him. He really broke it down for me, which was great because he was able to do that through Skype. Because I was in Kansas City and he was in New York, and so we would and Skype coaching, man, once it catches on, I don't know why people aren't doing this right now. People across the world can be learning from people in New York, LA, and Chicago through Skype. So because Anthony was on that team, and I sat down and I watched a bunch of videos with him and Gavin Spieler, John Murray. Oh my gosh, just everybody who's on that team was just so funny, so great, and I love Monoscene.
Yeah.
I was in a 3-person team that did Monoscene, and we were all 3 actors. So it was just it was just a play. We were just doing a play. We were just becoming characters, and we did it. We taught it. We taught it to ourselves. We learned the basics, did our own thing, made it our own. It was really great. We should have won what is considered cage match here. We call it Thunderdome in Kansas City.
Got it.
And we got beat out by a younger team.
Hipper team.
Probably had a little bit. They probably had a couple more friends there, but this set was amazing. The one thing I remember the whole set, but the thing that was killer was we had we did a Mexican standoff, so it was me and my other 2 other team members, and we're all 3 Mexican standoff, and then at the same time, without even anything, we all went and did this, and we were just and the crowd erupted, and it was just perfect. There was no signals from any of us. We just all automatically at the same moment just crossed arms, and we said we were in a Mexican standoff, and then we said now we're in a Swedish standoff. I was like, oh my god, because when you cross your arms, you're in a Swedish standoff. So
that's great.
So Death by Ruru, probably one of my favorites. So
love them.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, I love Stepfathers.
Yeah.
I have such a crush on Zach
Stepfathers.
Woods, so that'll do it for me.
Zach Woods.
Love Zach Woods.
I passed him at DCM, and he said hey to my girlfriend because they're friends, which was cool. And I was like, Zach Woods!
Hi! I went up to him once after show. I was like, I don't mean to bother you, but I'm a really big fan of your work, and it was really cool to see you tonight. And he was like, no, thanks for interrupting. That's a really nice thing to say. I was like, okay.
Yeah, very humble guy, very nice. Yeah, down to earth.
Okay, well, how do you like your transition in New York? Do you feel at home already?
Yeah. I mean, feeling at home, it's kind of funny because I've never really felt at home anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm a traveler. I love to travel. I love to move around. But I love this city, and as hard as it is on me, it's the best challenge that I could have ever put myself into.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I love Kansas City. I love my hometown, but I wanted to be challenged. And every day here, you wake up and it's something new. It's a new challenge. It's a new thing you're doing. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's good stress, bad stress. It's this project, that project.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes my brain work harder, and that's what I wanted. And
that's
so,
great.
I mean, I feel at home okay, for example, this is my weird thing, and my friends from Kansas City, you guys know this. I claim to be a wizard. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because
Sure.
I've actually studied sorcery.
Oh,
And yeah,
cool.
so I studied sorcery a little bit, and I have the claim to be a wizard, and it was just like, yeah, right.
Is that
Yeah, well, I mean,
Harry
Harry Potter. I'm a Lord of the Fans nut, like Lord of the
Okay.
Lord of the Rings fan nut, whatever. Yeah, but like there's a concept in wizardry and sorcery about kind of like time and space manipulation,
Okay.
where you don't affect people, but you can do certain things to make certain things happen. And so like I had the ability to I don't even know how to explain this. I could be anywhere at any given time in Kansas City, and it was always perfect. Like I would always arrive when I mean to, but I was always where I needed to be. I could do a million things in a day, and people would just be like, "How do you get from this place to that place?" So when I got to New York, I couldn't do it because I was new, and the trains are crazy, and people and situations and everything. And I got very frustrated. My first couple weeks here, I was very frustrated because I was like, "Where is my wizardry? Like, where is my power?" But recently, in like the last week, I've been nailing it, and I've just been like, trains are with me, people are with me, projects are with me, everything's coming together, and it just makes me feel like, all right, so I didn't lose my power. I just had to I say the word power.
Your power.
My wizarding power. My magic is what I call it, really, because it is what it is. It's a feeling. It's an energy, you know. But I feel like it's building itself back up, and it's like this it's this great like power bar, again using the word power, but like, you know, like a video game, like it's like recharging. So like it dropped when I got here, and now it's just filling back up, and so once it gets to the top, like I'm ready for the lid to blow.
You're ready to go, man.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds great.
That's the craziest thing you'll probably ever hear from me, guys. I'm a wizard.
By the way,
I'm a modern day 21st century wizard. So
I knew there was so many roaming around.
I know, right? Anything else?
I don't know. Where's your favorite place you've ever traveled? You're such a traveler.
That's a great question.
I know, that's a hard question.
God, so many places. I don't know. Chicago was beautiful. I love Chicago.
Yeah.
I filmed some stuff while I was there. I have an idea for like a kind of web series or TV series.
Okay.
So I started filming it in Chicago, so I have raw materials that I can go back and look on and be like, this is what I want to do. This is my project. This is my idea. Mm-hmm. It's a travel program, which is what I love. I want to be paid to travel around and talk about stuff. So Chicago was great. Actually, one of the most fun things I went to was the Florida Keys. Went to Key West.
I've heard amazing things about the Key
Beautiful.
West.
Just like, and this was when I was in Boy Scouts, so we got to stay, the thing was we got to stay on a deserted island, and we had to live there for like 3 days on a deserted island.
So it was like my experience in
It was
Ireland.
exactly like your experience in Ireland. I was thinking that. I was like, I know this experience.
Sounds familiar.
But I was in the Keys. Right. It was planned, and we did have like people that they had counselors and stuff. So, but yeah, the Keys and the Bahamas, beautiful. But that's just only because I haven't been to Europe yet.
Okay.
I know that Europe is going to be like my
a whole other thing.
My love story. It's just like
amazing.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, but man, everywhere I go, I find good stuff.
That's
good. Everywhere. Austin, Texas was great.
I've heard
Loved
cool
it.
about
San Diego, LA was even fun, even though it was nuts, and I was only there for like 48 hours.
That's all you need.
Great time. Yeah, it was a great time. I got to perform at IO West, you know. Every place I've been, I've performed at so many amazing venues, like at UCB East and IO West, and it's just like, how is it that I'm from Kansas City and I get to be in these fun places and do these great performances and be with these people? And it's just like
wizardry.
Yeah, that's it.
It's your power.
So that's it right there. That's my power. That's my magic.
So good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Amy. This has been fantastic, and getting to know you, and I know that we're going to be great friends, and everything's going to be amazing, and you're going to find success, and I'm going to find success, and it's been awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is great.
And thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe on the YouTube channels. Do whatever you got to do. Apparently, I'm monetized now, so you can give me money if you want to. So throw a couple dimes my way or whatever you got in your Venmo account. But thank you always to Dale Maxfield, my wonderful tech guy, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds
good. Awesome. Bye.
Bye, guys.